Lousy, Rotten, Stinkin' Grapes by Margie Platitini and illustrated by Mary Moser and narrated by Carrie and Malak. Lousy, rotten, stinkin' grapes. Fox eyed a bunch of tantalizing grapes hanging from the vine growing high on a tree. "Those juicy morsels are for me," he said with a grin. The problem was Fox was only so high, and the grapes were so high. No matter, he said. "I am sly, clever, smart. After all, I am a fox." He made a plan. Add this to that, multiply to this, subtract here from there, carry the 2, minus the 1, and voila, grapes.
Hop, skip, jump, flying, leap, and no grapes. Fox climbed out from the thicket and brushed off his coat. Perhaps a bit of boost is indeed, but where to get a boost? Grunt, grunt, grunt. Fox turned, he grinned. "Why, Bear, old buddy, I say, do you like grapes?" "Grapes?" said Bear. Duh, do I? I think I do. Yep, I do."
"Excellent. Look and listen. Here's the plan," explained Fox. "You stand here, I will stand in your head, there. On the count of 3, you give a bit of a boost, and voila, grapes." Bear looked at the plan. He looked at the grapes. He looked at the tree. He stared at his big front paws and thought, duh. "You know there, Fox, I'm thinking maybe I could just wrap my paws—" "Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta," interrupted Fox. Bear, my dear, dim buddy, your job is brawn, not brain. You leave the thinking to me. After all, I am the fox, sly, clever, smart. I know how to get grapes." Bear shrugged. "If you say so." Bear stood here. Fox climbed up and stood on the top of Bear's head. There, Fox counted 1, 2, 3, and no grapes. Fox brushed off his coat and straightened his nose. Maybe a little more lift, trust, and oomph is needed here. Bear shrugged. "If you say so. Now where can I find oomph?" Pat, slap, pat, slap, pat, slap. Fox peered down at the pond. He grinned.
"Why, Beaver dear pal, I say, do you like grapes?" "Grapes," said Beaver. "Oh, yes, indeedy, I do." "Excellent. Look and listen. Here's the plan," explained Fox. "Bear stands here. You stand on Bear's head. There. I stand on your tail, and the count of 3, Bear gives a boost as you give an oomph, which brings me there, and voila, grapes."
Beaver looked at the plan. He looked at the grapes. He looked at the tree. He tapped his front tooth and thought, "Fox, I'm thinking if I just started chewing on that, sure—" "Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta," interrupted Fox. Beaver, my detailed challenge chum. You just mind the oomphing, leaving all the thinking to me. I am the fox. After all, I am the fox. Sly, clever, smart. I know how you get grapes." Beaver shrugged. "If you say so."
Bear stood here. Beaver stood on Bear's head. There. Fox stood on Beaver's tail. 1, 2, 3, and
no grapes. Fox climbed out of the brambles. Just need an inch or 2 more. Scooch. Fox measured this. He waited that. He turned around and grinned.
"Porcupine, you short scooch of a fellow, do you like grapes?" "Grapes," said Porcupine. "I suppose I do. And a grape or 2 now and then." "Excellent. Look and listen. Here's the plan," explained Fox. "Bear stands here. Beaver stands there. You stand on Beaver's tail. I stand on you. And on the count of 3, Bear boosts a Beaver oof, while you scooch, which brings me there, and voila, grapes."
Porcupine looked at the plan. He looked up at the grapes. He looked at the back of the quills. "Excuse me, Fox, but I have a suggestion. Perhaps if I point my quit—" "Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta," interrupted Fox. "Porcupine, my little friend, let us not get all prickly. You just be Scooch, and I leave the idea to me. After all, I am the fox, sly, clever, smart, and I know how to get grapes." Porcupine shrugged. "If you say so."
Bear stood here, Beaver stood on Bear's head. There, Porcupine stood on Beaver's tail. Fox stood very carefully on Porcupine's back. 1, 2, 3, and no grapes.
Fox rubbed his feet. He pulled a bramble from his tail. He uncurled his whiskers. What might be helpful is we catch and swing, said Fox, with a pencil and eraser. Yes, catch a swing should identify. Do it. Beaver looked at Bear, who looked at Porcupine. The three shrugged. If you say so. Fox spied on tiny eyes peeking through a bush. Ah, Possum, my dear, do you like grapes?
Me, whispered Possum shyly. Why, yes, I do like grapes. Thank you for asking. I like grapes very much. Fox grinned. Excellent. Look and listen. Here's the plan. Bear stands here. Beaver stands on Bear's head. There. Porcupine stands on Beaver's tail. I stand on Porcupine. You stand on me. So on, and so on. Etc., etc., etc. Which lifts you, whose tail curls around here, then swings back to me, who I grab ending up there, and voila, grapes.
Possum stared at the grapes. She stared at the branch. She stared at the plan. Pardon me, said Possum, but it all seems so confusing and complicated. Perhaps if I... Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, interrupted Fox. Possum, 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 my pet. Now don't worry, those few little hairs on your extremely unattractive head, nothing to fret over and faint dead away. Trust me, my dear, after all I am the fox and I am one who is sly, clever, and smart. I know how to get grapes. Possum blinked. If you say so.
Bear stood here, Beaver stood there, Porcupine stood on Beaver's tail, Fox stood carefully on Porcupine, and Possum stood on Fox, ready to swing into action. 1, 2, 3, and boost, scooch, swing, no grapes.
What you doin'? Asked Skunk. Blast that bunch of fruit, groused Fox, crawling from under. There is simply no possible way to get those grapes, and that is that. Possum looked at Porcupine, who looked at Beaver, who looked at Bear. I can run up the tree and toss them down, said Possum. I can aim and shoot them down, said Porcupine. I can cut them down, said Beaver. Duh, I can give the tree a shake, said Bear. Fox glared. Oh, really? Then why didn't one of you say that something before? Well, Possum spoke up. After all, you are the fox. Sly, said Porcupine. Clever, said Beaver. Smart, said Bear. Duh, very smart.
Fox turned with a huff and a sniff. Well, do as you wish. I, for one, wouldn't think of eating those lousy, rotten, stinkin' grapes. Now, even if I could, they're probably sour anyway. If you say so. The